Hello Linux lovers, my name's Wimpy, welcome to my world. Gonna have a little continuation of what I was working on last night. Looking to complete what I started last night, and I thought I'll ease myself into Saturday morning with some coffee and a bit of relaxing music and get a few things done. So, same form as last night, we'll just wang a tweet out, let people know I'm doing this in case anyone wants to stop by. I noticed some of the team wanted to be involved and I didn't give them enough notice last night, so I'll be doing that. So hey ADS, you're up early, how you doing? Yes, I did a lot of chatting last night, and anyway, it's time for some coffee, so I thought, coffee, music, coding. I'm going to pick up the shopping in, I don't know, I'll have to leave in an hour and a half, but I thought I'd start my weekend, nice and chillaxed. So, sort out some coffee, update a few bits and pieces, make some notes about bugs that need fixes. Yeah, 10 AM, it's not too bad, is it? It's quite a late start around here today. I didn't get up till 8:30. It never happens. It's brilliant. Right then. Yeah, why didn't you do that? Why don't you go and put 2104 on? I did, after the stream, push some of those packages to the archive. In fact, I think what I'll do is once I've finished stirring this coffee, I'll go and look and see if all of those have been accepted, because I'm not actually certain what the state of archive inclusions are at the moment. Anyway, I've got the right mug for the job. Oh, which is see-through. Brilliant. There you go. Almost see-through. Not quite the same colour as my green screen. Right then. Good morning. Hello, Musical Coder. How you doing? Welcome back. Hello, Tackov. Welcome back. How you doing? Right then. So let's switch to this view here, and then we can see your chat. And I will just go and post this in another place. Right. Let's just go and get that out there. Oh, goodness. There we go, that's that done. Right then, so where was I? Let's get my code editor down here, because I had a to-do list in there. So, here we go. So, thanks for the feedback from last night. Some people noticed that I'd managed to get the audio bouncing with multiple versions playing. Hopefully that's fixed today, and I can hear it too. So I learned something last night. I was trying something new. It's always bad to try something new on the stream, but I think we've got it sorted out now. Morning TC, how you doing? Have you got a coffee, or is it morning where you are? I don't know, you could be in Australia for all I know. This is a very civilized way to start the weekend, I think. Right then. So this is what I was doing last night, and this was my to-do list of stuff. So let's just go and take a little look. Let's pull the browser in over here, which is that version. So here's a browser, and let's go and take a look at the packages that I uploaded. So the first was the Ubuntu MATE guide. That's released. Excellent. So there's the version that we did last night. So all Larry's changes are in place. So that's excellent. This bodes well. There's a good chance that this is done. So let's have a look at the Ubuntu MATE artwork, which was the big one. And that was released 6 hours ago. Awesome. So there is all of our fixes there. Let's just open those up. They should all be closed now. Yep, fix released. Awesome. Fix released. Great. And fix released. And fix released. Wonderful. Well, this is good. So what else did I send up? I sent up a new version of Marco. Hello JV, welcome to the stream. So no, 2104 is not released. It will be released at the end of April, but it's an Ubuntu testing week that started yesterday. So, you know, we're in the final stages of preparation. So there's going to be no new features. This is all bug fixes and refinement. So I've been working on, you know, tightening up the what will become the 2104 release. So here's the window manager package. That's good. I'll be updating things in a moment. And what else did we do? My favorite application on the desktop, and I'm not even being ironic when I say that. So I see TC, you're in the UK as well. Did you get yourself a coffee or a cup of tea, whatever it might be? Yeah. Okay. So that calculator was released as well. This is great. Oh wow! I see one of the teams doing better than me. They're out for a haircut this morning. That sounds amazing. I really want to have a haircut. I haven't had my haircut since November the 4th. Cup of tea, lovely. Need to reinstall anyway. Bluetooth is broken. I'm still on 1810 here. Yeah. Okay. So you can't update directly from 1810 to 2104. You're going to either have to, you know, nuke and pave or hopscotch your way up. My hair does grow slowly, although to be fair, I have got lots of stuff in it to kind of like wedge it into position. So, but yeah, my hair is not the fastest growing for sure. Right then. Let's where were we? We were looking at the to-do list, so let's go and pick up what we're going to do next. So let's start at the top here. Let's go and do Ngrampa, which is the archive manager. So that's all up to date. So if I just head that, we can see it's there. It's not 21.1, it's 21.2-1. So we'll do that. So those few things I've done there, if anyone's following along the commands in the command line there, what I've just done there is pushed the changelog change to Debian, to the Debian Git repository, because I maintain all of these packages in Debian, and because the archive's now frozen, I can't work with my my friend Mike, who's a Debian developer, to get these packages uploaded to Debian and then sync to Ubuntu, because at this point in the release cycle, the Ubuntu archive is frozen. So I have to upload to Ubuntu directly the changes that I want with a little change. So what I'm going to do now is just mark this as an Ubuntu only upload, but I'm going to set the version down so this will neatly upgrade in the future. Oops. And this is going to go into a PPA so that we can do a test build, and then we can do a test, make sure it's all fine. So that's that. So we'll now grab the source package. So this long old command here goes off, uses the version in the top of the changelog to go and find the upstream source tarball, pulls that down, overlays it on the Debian packaging, and then I can build a source package And once the source package is composed, I can then upload that to a PPA. And there is the source package, so we'll send that along, and that will now upload to our Ubuntu MATE QA and testing PPA, so that we'll be able to check on that in a bit. So I'll go back to my to-do list, we'll mark that one as it's in the PPA, and now we'll work on Eye of MATE. Let's think now. Let's just make sure that one's up to date. I'm sure it is. Yes. So Eye of MATE is also 0.2. There it is. So it's the same thing. Add the change log, write the commit message, and push it. And you might be noticing that some of these commands are just like appearing as if by magic, and that magic is provided by the ever awesome fish shell. It means I don't have to remember all the things I need to type. It knows the things that I'm doing. It's like time aware, location, directory, file system aware, where you're doing things. So it recalls the most common things you do. So I only have to type a few characters and I get this lovely expansion of stuff. Hey Paul, how you doing? Good morning. I've got myself a lovely cup of coffee. I hope you've got something nice as well. Oh gosh, I enjoy my first cup of coffee of the day. Yes, rather good. I've been enjoying some decent coffee recently. In fact, I got the wrong stuff. I was sent some, and it was beans, whole beans, and I don't have a grinder. So I went over to see my friend Popey last weekend to drop off 1 kilo of 100% Colombian. Hot chocolate, man. Yeah, okay. Yep. Popey's well, so we went out for a walk last weekend. That was nice. That's the first time I've seen him in forever. I think like early summer was the last time I actually saw him in person. So yeah, we had a nice afternoon. Went out for a walk, walked around the park, and then sat in his garden drinking tea and eating hot cross buns. So let's do this. So I'm putting this suffix on here to upload to the PPA, and the reason I do this is sometimes things go wrong. So if I need to upload subsequent versions, I can just increment this version on the end here, and I can effectively iteratively upload the same package as many times as I need to get things just right. So that's going to suit as well. So now we'll grab the tarball. So JV says you haven't left your district for a year. Yeah, it does suck a lot. I know what you mean. Popey is a little bit outside my my immediate area. We're like a town apart, so he's only 20 miles away. But JV, did you say you were in the UK? I can't remember, but the last weekend was when things got relaxed a little bit, so Popey and I decided to go out for a walk. Yeah, it's weird. He is very close. We rarely see each other in person locally. Usually, I mean, when we were both at Canonical, I'd usually see him when we were in Montreal or Seattle or something. Travel to some other country, and then we'd be in person. It's a bit weird. Oh, well, Paul, I think that is that's fine. That's kind of the point, right? One of the big criticisms was that Ubuntu MATE was looking a bit long in the tooth, which is why we've done the work with the Yaru team to spruce up the theme, and yeah, maybe it will attract a few people back. You never know. You know, that stuff does matter to people. And I was saying last night, it didn't matter to me too much, but I can understand why people wanted to, you know, wanted a better theme. I'm just stumbling over my words because I'm just messaging the Yaru team as I talk. So, yeah, hello Pro Gamer, how you doing? Welcome back. If I don't say so. Yeah. So, have you been occupying yourself with geeky fun and games to keep yourself amused during lockdown then, JV? Right. That's my first cup of coffee finished. Right, let's built. So is that built successfully? Oh no, that was downloaded. Let's go and build that one and get it uploaded. So it is entirely possible that you may hear the muted tones of the Sound of Music in the background of this, because my wife and daughter are downstairs doing their singing. So you do hear bouts of that. That's what's going on. Hopefully the music I have playing into the stream will help combat that. Right then, let's get that one uploaded. Yeah, geeky stuff, yeah. Your first MMO? Yeah, I've never played one of those. How did you find it? What do you normally play, and how did you find playing something like that? Wow, so JV, you bucked the trend. You stopped playing games. I started playing games again, like actually making time to play games. Otherwise, I come up here and I'll sit in front of the computer and everything begins to feel like work, because even when I'm working on Ubuntu MATE directly after working, it feels a bit like a continuation of working, or it did. So I was deliberately finding things to do in this room which were not coding. So I've built way too many computers down here on the floor, which thankfully you can't see. I have a pile of computers, and also not a scalper, but to the left of me and right of me are a load of GPUs. They're not new. Before things got crazy, I managed to buy like the back history of NVIDIA GPUs and the back history or recent history of AMD and NVIDIA GPUs that I've been experimenting with. Yeah, right. So let me just go back to my to-do list. Let's see if I'm going to try and like get a package done every couple of minutes or so that I don't wind up where I got to last night, where I really didn't get very much done. But hopefully people enjoyed a look at the Yaru theme. So the control center, which I have to say, most of the icons in here have been improved now, so they're looking quite good. Right then, let's make sure we're up to date. What version is that? Okay, good. They should all be up to date, but okay, so that's the Debian bit done. Let's do this. I tell you what, after 6 months, the word pursuit is not rattling off my fingers effortlessly. Every time I type it, I transpose R's and T's. So Yeah, I've made several mistakes with that along the way. So let's grab the source tarball for that. So I don't know, but I think, I mean, so you may be aware that Debian is in freeze at the moment because they're preparing for what will be the next release of Debian, which I anticipate will probably debut around September time. But it's now, well, we're nearly into April. But things are on a go slow there whilst, you know, everything gets firmed up for that, you know, iconic Debian stability. So I don't know if these point releases Mike will be able to squeeze into the next Debian or not. Well, I'll get to that in a moment. So I'll just make sure I haven't missed some comments because I have seen that people have been chatting. So let's just make sure. So I was asking about MMOs and that. Single player, okay, RPGs. I don't even play RPGs. If you've seen this channel, you'll know that I'm kind of fixated on racing games. Haven't booted Windows aside from inside a VM. Yeah, for over 5 years. So I built a computer in September. This is the one I'm using now. And I thought, I'll put a 500 gig NVMe drive in there, and I'll put Windows 10 on it because, you know, I was working on WSL, and I thought, you know, I'd actually use it a bit more in anger. But aside from doing the initial install and setting it up, I've not booted into it since. Although it's there, I imagine I'd have to wait for 3 days for the damn thing to update now if I was to boot into it again. But I should do more with it, but I'm just too comfortable on a Linux desktop. I want for nothing. I know a lot of people feel that they're missing out critical applications, but the alternatives where they exist, I've found everything I need, and I've learnt in some cases how to use it quite well. Right then. So yeah, you said I make updating packages look easy. It is easy when the package is like there. If all you've got to do is update a package, it is easy. Creating packages from whole cloth, not so easy. And also, as I said, Fish makes it easy because all I typed then was dpk and it filled out the rest for me. So, you know, it's very easy to do. You know, I don't have to think too hard because Fish does my thinking for me now. It's great. So that's that one uploaded to the PPA. Let's go and mark that accordingly. Ooh, file manager, hey? What are we doing? We're doing change the version number, which is, is that right? Have we not updated Kaja? Wow. Remarkable. Okay. So that's going to be a 0.1. Let's just get that committed. Right, so there we go. That's that done. And let's just see now. So, yeah, I mean, I've got the complete family of the GPD things here, which I'll be dragging. Maybe I'll do that live. Maybe I'll update the images for all of those. Although actually I did say I was only going to do the LTSs on those from now on. Hello Nick, thanks very much for the follow. Come and introduce yourself in chat if you want to. We're a friendly crowd here. And you've set off our little tucks at the bottom of the screen. If you're on a modern display, hopefully you can see our little tucks desperately paddling across the bottom of the screen to the other tucks. That's our follow train or sub train or whatever the cool kids call it. Right then. So JV, if you like the like racing games, I don't know if you've stopped by here on a Sunday night. We do a Linux game night. We've been doing it on YouTube for a bit. Started here, went to YouTube, did it there, refined the process here, and then we've recently moved back. If you go and look in the videos here, you'll see what we do. But we've gone a bit mad with it. We've written our own apps and stuff to integrate with OBS. Hey, Musical Coder, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I'm going to have to get back to talking about subscribers in a moment, because I'm now getting to the point where we're going to have to do something serious as a result of all of you generous people. So yeah, so if you like racing game, well, you like gaming on Linux in general, we do live head-to-head real-time streams. So we have a group of us in the Discord, which you can find a link for below. You're more than welcome to join. More than welcome to join the game nights as well and play. And we'll have multiple people playing the same game at the same time with like a quad split screen arrangement, so you can see everyone hammering away, and it's tons of fun. And it's kind of pushing the envelope in terms of what you can do with, you know, OBS and what have you. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. So, can we see a photo of my massive computers? If you go to my Instagram, you'll see them, you know, as I get bits and pieces and put them together. I usually post a few pictures there. So Instagram's a place to go and take a look. Oh, JV, nice. I like that. Run. So you're a Z Shell fan, are you? Okay, I found everything I need. Yeah, I know there are things that I would probably use if they were available, because I have no issue in using proprietary software on Linux at all. No problem with that whatsoever. So I've never used Adobe Premiere, for example, or After Effects, but now I've got quite into the sort of OBS tweakers community. There's lots of stuff that flows around there, which is After Effects files, which of course I can't do anything with. So I know full well that if I could run that well, I would use that so that I could, you know, participate in that side of things. Yeah, the GPDs, you pay a premium for the small devices. I mean, I've been quite fortunate. I think the first two I bought for myself, and I made Ubuntu MATE. I'm looking over here because that's where they are on the shelf. I think the first two I bought myself, and I made Ubuntu MATE images for them. And then ever since then, GPD have sent me whatever their newest device is. And I mean, they're pretty great. The gaming ones in particular are amazing with the built-in controllers. And I did do a live stream here, which of course is now evaporated. In fact, I've got a local copy. I should probably dig that out and stick it on YouTube. But I made the image for Ubuntu MATE, and then I live streamed it, actually playing some games to test out the performance. So I had the overhead camera going and all of that stuff. It was quite good. Right. All these emotes. Yeah, so the thing about the subscribers, we were talking about this. So we've got like a growing community on Discord which revolves around these live streams and Ubuntu MATE and, you know, all things to do with nerding and tweaking and what have you. And I achieved affiliate here, so that unlocks some stuff. And then people started subscribing and buying bits and what have you. So what we're going to do is figure out how we can make good use of the money that comes into this to make it valuable for people that are viewing and watching and have subscribed and, you know, played with bits and all the rest of it. So there's going to be some coding. So for example, those emotes, right? As Twitch says, I can do more of that silly stuff. I will make that silly stuff available to all of you. But what we're thinking of doing is writing a load of software to really up the interactivity in terms of like the game nights and the streams. So things like you'll be able to fire off chat commands to shower confetti over the winners of a race and stuff like that. You know, actually do things in chat that affect the stream directly, so it becomes a far more interactive process, and maybe, you know, make it possible that it is the viewers that choose the cars that we race rather than us using the random car selector. So we've got a number of us that can write that software, and we're happy to do it because it's fun. But then we'll need like VPSs and things to host this stuff, and that's where we'll probably use the money to actually pay for the infrastructure, in air quotes, to do this nonsense. So that's the idea, at least. And if anyone's got any ideas, wants to get involved in that, the more the merrier. So join the Discord. That's where we're organising ourselves. And I think this weekend we're going to start with a Trackmania race, which we're going to host our own server. I think I'm going to host it here initially, and then we'll move it into some sort of, you know, community managed server. And the idea about that one is that we can get at some of the stats. So one of our you know, community members is a professional data scientist and statistician, and they have made all sorts of graphs and stuff from our hotshot racing, and with Trackmania there's actually APIs and things, so we could really have some fun with that. Yeah, so the Trackmania snap is absolutely works. You can join using the Trackmania snap, or you can join using Trackmania, which is free to play in Steam. It's Trackmania Nations Forever is the one that we're going to be playing. I think so, JV. I prefer to play on controller, yeah. Although one of our crew, Big Pod, he plays on keyboard, plays races on keyboard. I think he's mad, but that's how he does it, and he's been quite successful recently. Yes, JV. Well, not a real life confetti cannon, a virtual confetti cannon, because what I should point out about these streams is we're doing it from, so last time we went out we had someone in Sweden, Slovenia, America, Switzerland, me here in the UK. So we're playing these games from afar together here. I bring in everybody's cameras remotely, bring in all of their gameplay remotely, but the latency is only about 200-300 milliseconds. So as far as you're concerned, you see it all live. You know, it looks, we're all in sync with one another. So as we're trading paint going through the corners, you can see that accurately reflected in the stream. It's a lot of fun. Right then, let's get, gosh, you're updated. And like I say, we only had 8 player slots with Trackmania. Not Trackmania, with Hotshot Racing. I don't know what the limit on Trackmania is, but I think it's much, much higher. So we could and because it's free to play and there is a snap, it's a lot more accessible to a wider group of people. So that's one of the reasons why we're going to have a stab at that. I just need to figure out how to get the server running. I tried last week and failed miserably, but then I realised I was being a doofus, and I've figured out what the missing step. So we'll have a go at that again. But then hopefully we can create a server that is like fully up all the time for, you know, the community. Right then, let's just do this. Oop. Okay. So, just reading the comments here. I think I've got the comments in two places because I can see them as they're composited in the screen, but I prefer to look at the actual ones over here. Wow, installing over a gigabyte of Ubuntu MATE 2104 updates. The install is taking a while to download was fine. A gigabyte? When did you last update it? That seems like an awful lot. I don't think I've ever seen an update as big as that on any Ubuntu ever. Yeah, so the other thing is as well is that some of the integrations that we want to do that people can utilize within here. So some of the money, for example, I make some ad revenue on YouTube, and I've used that to pay for my, Discord membership. I forget what the correct term is, but I've paid for my Discord thing, and then I boost the Discord channel with that, and then unlocks a bunch of features in our Discord. So we're just trying to find ways, because it's not a money-making venture, but people are generous. So where people are, Discord Nitro, that's it, thank you. So where people are being generous, trying to figure out how we use that. That was it. Yeah, so we've got, if you look in our Discord, I think I've got some stats at the top, and we've got the full complement of emotes in there, over 100 I think now, which of course are all sitting there waiting to be put in here. As you know, the levels unlock, we can put more and more stuff in here. Hello Big Pod, how you doing? I was just talking about you. Your ears burning. How's your hair? Yeah, I was just saying, I wish I was getting my hair cut today. That would be lovely. Blackmailing the Discord headquarters. Yeah, Nitro. Yeah. And what else have we used? Because there's not been a huge amount, but I'm just trying to use it to add value. But I'm looking forward to writing our own Twitch bot, so we'll replace the Stream Elements bot with something bespoke, and we can actually, maybe get some community engagement in creating that. So I've researched some frameworks. There's a nice Python framework for creating fairly comprehensive Twitch bots, so we'll have a go at that. Okay. Redeemed a word, but thanks for that. I only added that the other day. So ADS has used his channel points to ban me from saying a word. So that's going to be fun. Thank you. Right, where was I? I was updating this package, and I've updated the changelogs, so we need to build the source package and then upload it. I'm going to have to think carefully about the words that I use now. You bugger. I'm going to have to review the levels there, because I can't cope with that. Hello Cody, welcome back. How are you? Oh, very good, JV. Yeah, that's paying off last year for sure, right? Okay, so Cody has a couple of questions. How has the struggle of compositing on the RPi 4 been going? Do you mean specifically Ubuntu MATE? I didn't quite get the whole word out. Do you mean the green version or the orange and aubergine version? Can I do that? I need to learn. How can I've got lots of bits here. What can I do with it? Can I gift bits? How do I do that? I don't actually know. If you accept my stream point, you can refund it. Okay. Where? Oh, I see. No, what's that? I'm sorry, press the X. The X? What X? I'm looking. There's a stream points button to the left. Okay, let's go and look over here. Actually, here we go. Word ban. Here we go. No, that's an activity feed that you did it. Where do I actually click things to? Here we go. What's this? So I can reject it. There we go. Is that the right thing to do? Refund. There we go. There we go. Is that going to put something in the chat? I think I've done it. How's that? Brilliant. Okay, thank you for that. I'm actually learning some things. So I probably need to put whatever that is in a reward queue. So I probably need to reorganize my panels here at some point. Okay. Okay, right. Thank you. I just learned something about Twitch there. Thanks for that. It's good to do that with a friendly. Okay. Thanks, JV. I didn't see you sending me the link to that there. Good. Okay. Right. So we've uploaded that one. So I'm off the hook now, right? I've refunded you points. I can say all the words I want. Okay. That's in the PPA. So the panel. How are we doing for time? All right. Oh, you know what? I think it might be time for another cup of coffee. Let's... here we go. Good job. So, by the way, you can also do channel point management stuff through the Twitch pub sub API. Yes. So, I have found a really nice Python library which does everything that all of the Twitch APIs are supported. And I think it will be quite easy to really go to town with that and have a bespoke bot that isn't difficult to maintain or code, he says, without actually having started doing it, but that's the idea. But yeah, I thought we could even use, so when I was talking about, integrations with the stream, I'm thinking use channel points to trigger actions in OBS to do things, for example, and, interact with the running of the game, like choosing which track we go on, choosing the cars, maybe having some real high point rewards to have us select the worst car in the game, for example, so we all have to race with the worst car. Yeah. So JV, out of interest, are you doing that with your own custom bot? I'd like to know how you're doing that, because a lot of the OBS tweakers are waxing lyrical about this thing called Yaru board, which is like a graphical application for Windows, which in my simplified understanding is basically like a glorified Twitch bot wrapped in a UI that can integrate with, Stream Deck and OBS. No, actually, I'm not laughing at all. That's actually rather brilliant. I'd love to know more about how you're doing that. That sounds very appealing to me. That's great. Okay. I know. I've seen the user interface, and I know there's one being developed called Biku Bot as well, which is a paid thing, but that's developed with one of the JavaScript frameworks. So that looks like it could work on Linux because all the underlying stuff is open source friendly, but the developer is only releasing their own build, so you can't build it for yourself. So it's whether they have any interest in making it. So I'm very interested in this Node-RED thing. I'd love to know how you're doing that, and if you found any reference material on setting that up, send links. I'd be very interested in reading about that. That could be a fun way to do things. So I've put a snap in the Snap Store called OBS CLI, and that is a command line application for interacting with OBS over the WebSocket. So that works really nicely. Oh, so JV, this is really interesting. I'm going to have to point Yannick at this because he's a massive MQTT fan, and obviously Roger Light is a friend of, you know, Ubuntu podcast, and he's the sort of maintainer of Mosquito now. So that's very interesting. So OBS control, is that a Windows executable? I think Windows OBS control is like a Windows version of the OBS Cli that I've been using on Linux. In fact, I can show very quickly here. It looks like hang on, why is that not working then? Am I OBS Cli? There we go. So OBS Cli get version. There we go. So that just poked the version of OBS that I'm running at the moment. It calls the get version, and then you get the JSON response with this is all of the stuff, you know, that you can poke at. So I've actually programmed up some new features on my Stream Deck, because when we have the multiplayer stuff going, we often want to switch like who's on screen, and I keep on having to actually configure OBS. So I've used this to program some buttons on my Stream Deck so I can just punch people's faces and say they're player 1, they're player 2, they're player 3, and it just live switches now, which is nice. Oh, yeah, okay, so you just mean you control OBS through the WebSockets. Yes, so yeah, I have the OBS WebSocket plugin integrated into the snap of OBS, and then on the outside I'm using that OBS CLI to actually poke at the socket to do stuff. And then here, which you can't see, I have a tablet running an app called Stream Control. So I'm about to push a button on my tablet, and that's what I use for doing my transition changes. So I don't actually use the Stream Deck much for OBS. I mostly use the Stream Deck for controlling the audio, and I use the tablet for scene transition switching. And the Stream Control it's available for Android. I don't think there's an iOS version, and I think it's free. I think it has ads in it, but it was like $3 or something for lifetime unlock. And it's brilliant because the guy that makes the Stream Control app for Android collaborates with the developer of the OBS WebSockets plugin for OBS. So the two move in lockstep. So as it unlocks new features in OBS, it's immediately available on the tablet. Yes, I've seen the OBS tablet remote as well. Yeah. Yeah. That's the web app, right? Yeah, yeah. I think I've seen two. I forget the names, but I've seen two web apps that you can talk. I mean, actually, that's not. Now I've got the custom browser docs working in OBS. I suppose one of those I could actually embed as a panel inside OBS itself. There's something to consider. OBS is my favourite bit of software at the moment. I just love it. I just think it's a fantastic bit of software. Right then, let's go and do the panel. Let's quickly go and do the panel. So this is 21.2, no, 24.2. Add that. So do you stream on Twitch or YouTube, JV? On Twitch, okay. Nice. I'll check that out. Doing it now. I like this. Now I've got these browser panels and what have you. You can do some interesting things in OBS with this. So now as I click on things, it opens up these little windows. So I was just able to just immediately click through to your channel. Oops, I'm on the wrong virtual screen again. That's so easy to do. So nice. Take a look at that. Thanks for the tip. Hopefully a few other people may be interested in following along with your channel. Sounds like you're doing similar stuff. Mostly German. Okay. Very good. What's a bang so command then? I may know about how to drive OBS, but I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to Twitch culture. Shout out. Okay, and what would that do? Put a link into their channel directly. Is that the idea? I think I might need to assemble a group of like Twitch aficionados to provide some advice and guidance over the things that we should be doing. Right. Okay. I'll have a look into that. I'm up for doing all of these things, for sure. I guess this is part of the thing about starting streaming on YouTube and then coming to Twitch. The conventions and the culture is a bit different, and it's the interactivity of the Twitch environment that I really come back for. I'll just get this one on its way and then I'll see what's being said in the chat. Oh. Okay, let's put that, let's build it even. So, what are you advising against in terms of mobile viewers there, JV? I'd advise so people can click it. Oh, I see, because if you're on mobile and you click that link, you just go to that channel. Right. I understand. Holy cow! Hello, Will. How you doing? Good to see you. I'm drinking coffee and fannying about with Ubuntu MATE. I can say it now. Fanning about with Ubuntu MATE. Nice to see you. How's tricks, Will? Hello, Chris. Morning. Welcome back. In camera science, and then the most popular clip from that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it, JV. I like that. So let's get this one uploaded, and then we can tick it off the list. This is just like our world, right? Not doing the vacuuming, trying to get the vacuum cleaner robot to work via Python. Brilliant. I was round at Popey's last weekend and I watched his robot vacuum cleaner get lost as it was, you know, wandering around the house trying to find its way home. Right then. What was I doing? I'm going to tick that one off the list. There we go. So that one's in a PPA for testing. So let's go and get the Power Manager done. Right, yeah, I would do the vacuuming, but I'm compiling a kernel for the vacuum cleaner right now. What's next? Mate Power Manager. Let's get that one quickly fired out. Let's what's that? That's a 0.3. How exciting. Wow, that must have been broken at release then. Let's scan that before I forget, and then we'll get that pushed up to Debian promptly. Right, that's the Debian bit done. Let's quickly do this, get the version prepped for Ubuntu. I do have a bunch of scripts that automate all of this, so I don't actually have to do this by hand, but I do it by hand on these streams because, one, I'm here to drink coffee and chat, and also people that stop by, maybe they pick up a tip along the way, which is always good, or we end up having a cool conversation about geeking with OBS, which is my favourite pastime. Right, so that's good to go, so we can push that up to the PPA as well. And if I wasn't chatting, as you can see, it only takes a few seconds to do each one of these, but it's nice to have a little bit of a waffle with people. So I'm going to skip over the screensaver. Oh, that's the last one, so I'm going to have to go and do a little bit of research. So let's just see there. Yeah, welcome to 2021. Yeah, I know, right. I had to do a firmware update on the most peculiar thing the other day. What was it? I was just like, this is what it's come to. I've got to do firmware updates on... I can't even remember. But it was like, it's come to this, that everything's got software in it now. I know my brother-in-law, who's not particularly technically savvy, was lamenting the fact that he's got a fancy vaping pipe or whatever they are, and that's got software in it. He had to update the software on his cigarettes, basically. Right. Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I started doing the live streams, I mean, I started on YouTube, which I will still do stuff there for sure. But one of the reasons I started, if you look when I started, it was when lockdown kicked in. And suddenly, you know, going to the maker space, going to the local tech meetup, going to my co-working space where there's a bunch of nerds that, you know, work there as well, and all of the water cooler stuff. Obviously, working remotely, I wasn't going into the London office and getting to see my friends and colleagues from Canonical. You get isolated pretty quickly because I live in a rural area. So the live streaming, apart from anything, was a social, bit of social time with to find those same, like-minded people that I would gravitate towards, in the real world. So that's part of it. But now I've started doing this, I'm going to keep it up because I kind of enjoy it. If I'm going to be sitting here on a Saturday morning sipping coffee and poking at some packages, then why not do it like this? When I've done it on YouTube, more deliberately scheduled to sort of capture a larger audience as a means to be a tutorial of sorts, allow people to see how it's done so that they can see, as you were saying earlier, ADS, it's not actually that hard when you know the basic steps to update a package. Not that tricky. Maybe it brings some barriers down and it encourages some people to get involved, and we've certainly grown the Ubuntu MATE team as a result of me doing this stuff. We've had someone prominent leave just recently, but then we've had a really talented developer, Yannick, who you'll know from the racing stuff we do. He's now joined the team. We've and Big Pod as well, who was in, I don't know if he's in chat or if he's getting his hair cut now, but he's joined the team and he's working on our CI/CD stuff. So we've had, a load of people join the team as a result of doing live streams and just showing, it's not that hard and there's lots of ways you can get involved. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I sometimes, particularly now with my new job, I have between like 9 and 2 in the afternoon where, Will, thank you. That's very kind. I was just talking earlier about how we're going to use money from subs, but basically it's to make these chat bits more interactive and fun for the people that are here. We've got some idea. We're going to develop some code to make Twitch rock for Linux nerds. Wow. Thank you both very much. That's really kind. But yeah, so I have a gap now between I get home from the school walk about 9:30 and I start my working day about 10. But between 10 and 2, I'm on my own because the rest of my team are now in Boston. So I put Twitch on in the background, live coding stuff whilst I'm working, and it's just a little bit of, listen along, and then you think, oh, actually that sounds very interesting, and you can go and learn something for 5 minutes. So yeah, thank you both. That's super kind. I'll have to check at what point the sub points unlock stuff, but like I say, I have plenty emotes to scatter in here. So ADS, you're also in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I seem to remember you were struggling with a poor broadband connection for a while. I'm hoping that tweet from the Ubuntu account at your dad helped. I seem to remember we gave him a gentle prod a couple of years ago. One of our community contributors was going radio silent over the holiday period because they couldn't upload or download anything. Yes, my memory is good. I have a famously good memory. Thanks for the follow. Right. Right then. Okay then. My lamp crashed mid-update. Yeah, it was something like that. I can't remember what it was. I was putting a firmware update on something that I was just thinking this shouldn't have an update. This shouldn't need updating. Right then, let's do the next thing. So Screensaver. So I actually need to just go and do some research on this one because it is possible that I might have to hold off on the Screensaver one. So let's just go and take a little look. So let's just look at the recent commits here. That's what we want. Okay, so it's basically fixing the translations, which is fine. So no issue with that whatsoever. So there's some other changes happening in master, and I wondered if any of those have been backported, because we were being put under some pressure to backport some stuff we didn't want to. So let's just go and deal with that. Right, so that is going to be a 0.2 release. Commit that, push it, and then we'll grab the source table. Oh, come on, Git, catch up. Oh, come on. Seriously, what are you doing? Why is that locking? Well, maybe South is struggling. Okay. Let's grab the source table. Let's just make sure it's not my connection. No, it's working fine. Okay. Right then. Let's have a look. So yeah, the government failed to meet their 2 megabits everywhere. Yeah, indeed. So I was similarly impacted here. I'll tell you that story in a moment, and let's have a look. But we got fiber cabinet in 2017, so you've had 40 megabits since then. Brilliant. Okay, your soldering iron gets updates. Bloody hell. Well, Tamagotchi, that makes sense, I suppose. So yeah, so we're in a rural area, and we had the same thing. The ADSL round here was 512k forever. And then half the village got fibre and our half didn't, so we were on ADSL. So I was using 3G for some years, 3G in one of those, you know, routers that has a 3G backup, except it wasn't our backup, it was our primary connection. And I had the 3G dongle on a 10-meter USB cable, blue tacked to the window to maximise the signal. And then because BT was simply saying they weren't going to provide service to our half of the village because it wasn't cost effective, a local radio engineer created a WISP, and we used that, and that was life-changing. So we had 16 meg symmetrical when he set that up, which was ace, because that meant that at that point we could join the, you know, Netflix revolution and all the rest of it. So we then almost overnight switched from terrestrial TV services to streaming services, and we've not looked back. So we've been using those exclusively since 2012 now. Don't use, you know, TV or satellite or anything like that. And then couple of years ago, BT did put fibre to the curb in on our half of the village, and I moved to an ISP for that. It's about the time I started at Canonical, actually. And then last year, Virgin came round and they put fibre to the premises for everyone on this half of the village. So we are now supercharged. So I've got 500 meg fibre to the front door now, which is fab. And has been amazing this last year with all of the remote school and remote working and what have you. Yeah, so I got 500 down and 56 up, which is decent. I feel like that's I'd prefer symmetrical, but you know, that's loads. It means like streaming, I can be doing this and the girls can be watching Netflix or whatever. It never treads on each other. It's great. Yeah, I can remember going to Southampton University for a lug years ago, and they had 700 megabits in the room that we were using for the lug. and everyone was just leeching ISOs the whole time we were there, to just get as many ISO images downloaded as possible, because it was like, you know, incomprehensibly fast back then, because this would have been like 2006, something like that. Right then, so I've pulled down the source package. Did I make the appropriate changes? No. So let's just go and put the suffix we need. Oh, there it is. There's one of those famous typos. I'm getting so bored of this stupid code name. Should have called it Hairy. Right. Let's build that. And then let's get that up to the PPA. And then we can go and look at the PPA and see which of those have built. And we'll update the VM, make sure everything works. Yeah, I mean, it's revolutionized having fast internet, like properly fast internet. I know there are loads of people with much faster internet than even I have, but having anything over, like, you know, 100 megabits really changes up how you can, it's particularly from a developer point of view. I mean, the amount of times I've flashed up VMs and things on cloud providers because they've got fast peering, and you can do your development on a remote workstation because it's got faster connectivity, not having to do all of that. So I've got this really sort of, you know, full featured local dev environment. Oh, right. So I'm glad you've been able to join. One of the team has joined the chat. I guess that was you that was following earlier. Thanks for stopping by. Say hello in chat. Sav, say hello in chat. Then I'll know what your Twitch username is, because I've now got this mental mind map of people's like Discord handles, YouTube handles, Twitch handles, Twitter handles. Right then, let's go and take a look in the PPA and see how that did. In fact, actually, let's do this. Let's bring down a VM, the same VM we had running last night. Still running here. This is the advantage of having a small mainframe as your workstation. Oh, let's actually put the right password in. Oh, and that's the bug that we were discussing last night. Excellent. So let's go and see what we have. Can't remember what the key combo is, never mind. Right, let's get that upgraded. Let's see what it's going to pull in. So some of the stuff, so the artwork stuff. Oh, it looks like most of it is built actually. Okay, good. Okay. So that's pulling on all the official packages that we did last night. So let's just go and look at that. In fact, we'll let that finish and then we'll reboot the VM. Hey, good. So you've got the same handle in Discord and Twitch. That's convenient. Thanks for stopping by. So Saver's just joined or just said hello in Twitch, is part of the Ubuntu MATE team in our Discord community, which is a Discord community of all the things. It's Ubuntu MATE and other stuff that I and others, friends of mine, are interested in. We use that as like a central place to coordinate. So Saver's been doing a fine job with the QA work. So these remaining weeks is now where I turn my attention to looking at the bugs that people have found and then prioritizing that and trying to knock down the bugs that we can, which is why I'm uploading these maintenance releases, because these upstream Mate point releases have got fixes in them that address some of the issues that people have discovered. Right, where were we? We're gonna... Oh, I'm in the VM. Let's get outside the VM. There we go. And that one. Let's go and have a look at... Let's go on the right virtual screen. So let's go and look at our playground PPA and see if there were anything that failed to build. So let's filter this by pursuit. Okay, so there's some still building, but that's more for ARM, which can be slow. But it built on 2 architectures, so that's looking safe. We'll look at the power manager stuff. Well, that built on AMD, so it compiles, so that's good. I mean, these should, because these point releases don't add new features. Some of them are just translation fixes and things like that. So all of the other stuff built. So what we'll do now is we'll start uploading that to the archive. So what have we got here then? When I loaded in after updating, the panel encountered a problem. Yes. Dock applet. What version of Ubuntu MATE are you running there, ADS? Because the dock applet we don't ship in we don't ship by default anymore. So if you use Mate tweak and switch the layout to familiar, that'll like put you back to defaults, and then you can tweak it from there. But the dock applet, one of the reasons why we don't ship the dock applet by default anymore is because it was busted. It's a big spaghetti code mess, and that's why I've refactored the way I showed last night. So let's just go to the VM quickly. Why we've now got, oh come on, am I on the right screen? Yes. So in tweak now, if we go to one of these layouts like Mutiny, this is no longer the Mate dock applet. This is Plank. We're using Plank to provide this dock, and the Mutiny layout has now been sort of slightly reimagined to be more similar to how Ubuntu delivers the GNOME desktop with its dock. I mean, that may well change because now, you know, GNOME 40 has the panel at the dock at the bottom. But this is to create that look and feel, because the strange thing is that on my actual machine, this is like the layout that I use now. So after having used, you know, Ubuntu for, you know, several years, I got quite accustomed to that dock down the left side of the screen, and it became quite a natural way of working with things. So there were lots of people that wanted to see the Mutiny layout preserved. So, but the dock applet wasn't fit for purpose. So we've reimagined it using Plank, and I think I can, if I go back to tweak again, we can go to the panel here and we can click that, and we should find that the HUD works as well. So we've brought the HUD back as well. What we did temporarily, not threaten, but we did temporarily put the idea around that we might remove it, but there are some people that really love that feature, so we decided to keep it around. So let's just restart. I think I saw somebody last night say, are we going to tweak the Plymouth theme? The answer is yes, not this cycle. It was all about Yaru this cycle, and now that's done, we'll we'll finish it off properly next cycle. And this is a genuine bug. In fact, I need to make sure this gets reported, because I want those back traces in Launchpad so that we can debug that one. Hello, Klaus. One off-topic question. Which setting is better? Better for what? I mean, it depends what you're doing. Are you talking about for streaming or what? I don't use either of those color spaces for streaming, for example. I wouldn't know, Klaus. I don't use Windows, so I couldn't answer that question for you, I'm afraid. Right, so that's all updated and it booted, so that's encouraging. So I think we'll very quickly go and get those packages uploaded. So let's go back to our to-do list and knock them down one at a time. So we'll start with ngrandpa. In fact, let's go, yeah, let's start with ngrandpa. Let's knock the suffix off. Rebuild the source package. And put that in, put it in the archive this time. So no PPA required, directly to the archive. So that's that one done. We'll close that. Go to there. Do Kaja. Get rid of the suffix and the same again. So I think ADS, you said your Wi-Fi wasn't working. Are you in a VM or on an actual machine? So let's put that one up. There we go. That's a definite FTP fail. So let's do that again. There we go. So that's Kaja done. Close you. Let's go and do the control center. So let's just have a look here. It's not what you've got on your screen, so something got messed up. Actual machine. Okay. Oh, so this is this the machine that you were streaming on the other day, ADS? Okay. Yeah. Best to reboot after you've done your updates, particularly if they're significant. Yeah. You'll have library updates and things. Yeah. I streaming and speaking to you on my ThinkPad. Okay. Yeah, so you were saying about, we had a little chat in Discord about optimizing your OBS. I'd be very interested to hear how you get on with that. My advice is make those changes and set your OBS recording configuration to be your stream settings, and then you can actually just record locally and you can test it all out as if you're streaming without actually having to stream anything anywhere. And you've given me an idea for a video as well. So I've been making these videos about how to do stuff with I haven't released any yet, but I've been making a backlog of them. And one of the things I'm doing is I've got an i3, like a 2014 era i3 laptop. and I'm thinking, which is probably similar to like what you're using. So I'm thinking of taking that and like say, let's use a in air quotes low powered machine, and how do we optimize that to stream? You know, yeah. Well, not even cheapskates, right? If you think about it, lots of laptops only have integrated graphics, and they have mobile CPUs which have got, you know, thermal limits and all that sort of thing. So, you know, you've got a lot of things to contend with there. So how do you do that? And I'm interested in myself to see how much help it is to encode on the CPU or encode on the IGP. So obviously there's accelerated encoding. It's still on the CPU package, but it's in a discrete part of the CPU. Does that still boost the thermals up? You know, what's the quality like? I don't know. I've never tested that, so I'm interested to take a look. Right, control center. You need an upload. So let's go and do you. Oh, there we go. And let's stick you in the archive. Okay, that's that one done. Let's do EOM. Drop that suffix. Let's just get that in the archive. I see you've typed a few things. Let's catch up with what's going on there. If there's, I see there's a few people watching. If there's anyone having a watch here who hasn't said hello in chat, do say hello. So let's have a look here. Yeah. Strange. I think my computer can see the booster installed upstairs. Okay. No, it's not that you have to interrupt ADS. It's I like to sort of, you know, get to know people who have stopped by. Hello, Katsitaz. Crikey, that's complicated to say. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for saying hello. Are you a Linux user, or have you just stumbled into something unusual here? Let us know. If you're a Linux user, what distro? What desktop? Right, EOM, we've built that. Okay, that one's done. Pushed. So now it's the panel. Musical code has just popped in there. Let me just go and see. What have you got here? So, do I run Ubuntu main or Ubuntu MATE on your main desktop now that you have moved from Canonical? I run Ubuntu MATE. So the whole time, when I was at Canonical, I had several different roles. When I first joined, in fact, Will, if he's still here, Will hired me onto the desktop team. Obviously, working on the Ubuntu desktop team, I ran Ubuntu as my main desktop, which was in front of me, you know, every moment of my working day, and I had a separate machine on the desk behind me which I did my Ubuntu MATE stuff on. When I moved over to working on Snaps and Snapcraft and all the rest of it, I was using Ubuntu MATE again, and I had every distribution imaginable in a collection of virtual machines because I was doing loads of work across different distributions. And then when I went back to the desktop team, I immediately switched back to Ubuntu as my main desktop, which is the right thing to do, right? You know, if your job is to work on the Ubuntu desktop, you have to be running it to make it the best it can be. And then once I had left Canonical, in fact, I didn't reinstall. I just removed the GNOME packages and installed the Ubuntu MATE packages and did a sort of a switch in place. Hope that answers your question. But yeah, Ubuntu MATE full time on everything now. Okay. Found the channel on a retweet using Ubuntu mostly. So you use Ubuntu proper then. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. So yeah, I do just general, it all revolves around Ubuntu. So I obviously lead the Ubuntu MATE project. But you know, that's just a desktop distinction. You know, everything that I do is Ubuntu, you know, under the hood. So here on Twitch, we've been doing some like Linux game nights. So on Sunday night, we do Linux community game night, where we have some fun playing games on Linux, and we've got people running a collection of distros, and we just get together for some social time and fun. I usually do these sorts of streams on YouTube, but I'm experimenting with Twitch, and so far I think the engagement is better on Twitch. In that, you know, when I go live, there's a bunch of you here to chat and, you know, follow along and help, which is great. So we're thinking about, you know, building out some interactive features here. Sleepy eyes, Vince. Yeah, oh, I'm glad you're following along. Are you, when you say pretending to be busy, you're not, you're not meant to be working, I assume. It's the weekend, right? Anywhere in the world, it's the weekend now, I think. Okay. Right then, so did I upload the panel? No, I did EOM. So I've made the changes, but I need to go and do that. So let's go and get the panel done. Let's rebuild that and put that up. Because I'm looking at my clock here, it's 11:30. My daughter has got a piano lesson at 12, and I have to be as silent as a mouse when piano lessons happen. So my cunning plan is to leave the house entirely and go and pick up the shopping at the click and collect. So I'll be finishing off these things and then closing down the stream in the next 20 minutes or so. But I'm not going anywhere just yet. So let's get that uploaded. So that's the panel done. And the power manager is next. Hey Henrik, welcome back. How you doing? I know Henrik. It says the wizard here. But Henrik is one of those people that confuses me horribly because he has a different handle on every platform. Late morning, having breakfast still. Very nice too. That sounds like an equally relaxing way to ease yourself into the weekend. So Musical Coder says they've been testing Ansible a lot and reinstalling software and setup. Yeah, I have a similar system to that. In fact, it's a video that I've been scripting. So I've recently moved my file management and my bootstrapping of my desktop environment to a private encrypted keybase Git repository, and I use Yadim to manage my files, but Yadim also has a bootstrap feature, so the first time you check out your Yadim files, it can do a whole bunch of orchestration. And I did have I still do have a large shell script, which is my bootstrapper, which installs a bunch of packages, because I don't need any configuration, because that's what Yadim provides, all my files and profile settings. But then it installs all the dev packages I want and everything. But I'm thinking of moving that bootstrap thing over to something like an Ansible script and do it, in a bit of a more, let's say, professional fashion. ADS, you should be ashamed. Look, it's 11:30. TC, hey again. So you've been using Ubuntu MATE since 1604. Wow, brilliant. That's lovely to hear. I'm glad to hear that's working for you. Well, thank you for the kind words. That's great. I'm really pleased to hear that. Okay. So you can connect to your Wi-Fi access point on your phone. Is that what you're saying, ADS? Yeah. So it's interesting you mention NFS musical coder, because I used to like have Samba. I used to have a NAS. I've actually had that shut down for months now. Used to have a NAS with NFS on it and Samba and all the rest of it. And I've just moved away from that. What I've done now is the family, all of our stuff that we share between us, we do via Dropbox. So we just use Dropbox everywhere and everyone's got a local copy of stuff. And then for my stuff that I want on multiple machines, like my development directory, this directory here, my home development, which has got everything that I work on in there, I've got that in sync thing. And then each machine that I set up, I pull down Yadim, which gives me all of my config, and then I set up sync thing and then just slurp over the current state of my dev environment. So I've got the same dev environment everywhere. And in a time where I used to get on a train and go to London or fly to parts of the world with a laptop, my laptop had the same dev environment as this workstation here. And I could be away for a week in Canada working on stuff, and when I got home on a Monday morning, I'd sit down at this computer and I have the same dev environment, which was a continuation of the work that I'd been doing, you know, the week before somewhere remotely. So I've just stopped with NFS and Samba. I now use syncing protocols to just put the same data in all the places that I need it. That might be an idiosyncratic solution, but it works for me. Hello, Emmy Bear. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Are you a Linux user, or have you happened into this place? Right then, let's okay, musical coder. Yeah, I've started scripting a video about that. I'll definitely one I want to make. I think it's interesting to see how other people have their workflows set up, not because everyone should emulate, you know, a particular setup, because we all have our own preferences, but you can certainly be influenced by some ideas from seeing how different people do things. Ah, Emmy, nice. So yeah, I've been a full-time Linux user since, I think it's 1995, although it might have been a little bit of 1994, but similar era. So you've gone through the hard times and the good times, just like I have. Recently chose. Oh well, that's lovely to hear. Well, I'm glad. What were you using before Ubuntu? And also, thanks for listening to the podcast. If anyone's listening along and they don't know what Ubuntu Podcast is, ubuntupodcast.org. Every week, half-hour family-friendly show with my friends Alan and Mark. It's, well, we think it's lots of fun. We have a lovely time recording it. So I've done the Power Manager, right? That was up. No, I haven't done the Power Manager. I've just changed the suffix. So let's go and rebuild that source package. Let's see if we can actually finish this to-do list off before I go and get the shopping. So let's push that up. So let's do a little straw poll for those of you that are in here watching. If you're running, you know, Linux with some intent, just type the distro and desktop environment. I'm not angling for compliments. It's fine if you're not running Ubuntu MATE. Just interested. Just put distro and desktop environment. Just that. Let's gauge what we've got in here. Yeah, okay, thanks, Save. I'll look at that. So, oh, there's one I've not heard of. Is Arco an Arch derivative? I know what i3 is. So, Torpedo Luke, welcome to the stream. So, Fedora and GNOME. Blaze, hello. Oh, this is quite good, seeing some returning names here. So, you're Ubuntu and GNOME. ADS, Ubuntu and GNOME. And then you've got Mate for testing. Okay, so, oh, Enlightenment, wow. Have you been using that long, Henrik? Enlightenment, that is. Because that's been around, you know, since the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Emmy Bear, Tuxedo Regolith XFCE. Tuxedo, is that, have they got their own distro now? Is that what that means? This is Tuxedo, the German laptop OEM, right? ADS Fedora is nice with GNOME, so musical coders Ubuntu Mate on 2 machines and playing with Kubuntu on laptops. Arco is an Arch based. Okay, good. Oh, hey Mindy. I see you around all the time. Thanks for saying hello in the chat. It's nice to see you. LTS with XFCE. All right, so you're inspired by Mr. Ressington, I see. Very good. About 10 years with Enlightenment. Okay. Yeah, I used it. I tested a distro that was an Enlightenment distro, and I found it. I used to love Enlightenment back in the day. It was one of the early desktop environments I used because it had some really amazing visuals. It was awesome. It's default Ubuntu, I think. Okay. I'm not quite clear. So they offer Ubuntu, or the Tuxedo distro is Ubuntu based. It's been a while since I've used an Ubuntu Tuxedo machine. Yeah, I think it may have been Bodhi. Henrik, I think it might have been Bodhi. I think one of the reasons I was testing it is it was at the point at which Enlightenment had got Wayland support, and it was a way to actually, you know, use the Wayland display server. So okay, 4 gig of RAM. 2204 LTS has to offer. Yeah, that'll be an interesting release, I think. So Save it's part of the team, so Ubuntu Mate and Debian. Okay. Occasionally Fedora Silverblue Mate for testing. Interesting. Very interesting actually. How's that Fedora Silverblue experience? I haven't tried it yet. Still waiting for NVIDIA for Wayland this year. That's this year, by the way. I think that's public now. I'm not letting any cats out of the bag. I've known that for a while, but this year, Wayland on NVIDIA drivers. So, year of the Linux desktop, everyone. Silverblue, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of effort going into you know, confined desktop environments and stuff. Using the Yaru theme on i3 with the correct color codes and everything. So Sleepy Eyes, Vince, that's interesting because I imagine that means you've configured your X resources with a Yaru color scheme. Am I right about that? Okay, so thanks, Emmy, for the clarification. So it looks like Tuxedo is Ubuntu with some branding and some of their bits and bobs on top to make their devices work. Right then, let's get the screensaver done then. Let's get that uploaded. And I can then look at my to-do list. So let's go to Screensaver, rebuild that. Yeah, and some tweaks. Okay. Oh, into your i3 configuration. Okay, right. Yeah, the X resources is for, you know, terminal colors and things like that. Let's just get this done, because this then means that all of those point releases will be in 2104, which will be lovely. Right, so that's that one done. So let's close that. So we have now done that. And this one. We've done the control center. We've done Kaja. We've done the panel. Done that. And we did do this in a PPA and here. So let's tick off everything here. That's good. Nice. And then those are bugs that I need to follow up on, which I'm not going to do right now. So we'll save that to-do list. And I also need to do the Ayatana keyboard bug report. Something else I need to do. Yeah, I know, right? Well, some of that we did last night. We did last night's stream. We did that much, I think. Maybe, in fact, we did that as well. And then we've updated those packages there. So yeah, I enjoyed 3 cups of coffee. Cups of coffee with double cream, no less. So the height of luxury, coffee luxury at least. Yeah, got some good stuff done. That's ace. I'm very pleased with that. So I was just thinking, another question. Yes, that was the question. So for those of you that are watching now, how does this time of day work for you? And also, like, the weekend, you know, because I'm thinking about when I stream and stuff. I've got a fairly flexible schedule these days. A regular stream on like a Saturday morning to complement the late night ones. How many of you are here now because it's now as opposed to late at night? Just interesting to know. ADS, I think you're telling porcupines. That can't possibly be true. So TC, you say this time works for you. Paul, you're so funny. HC. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll try and remember that. HC. Okay. HC. Perfect start to the weekend with a stream on Saturday mornings. Or maybe I mean, I have stuff to do on a Saturday morning with the family, but I got that out of the way, so might be able to do that somewhat frequently. I'll see if I can schedule that in. Something like this, you know, or maybe it's even like the preparation for the game night, because usually that's, you know, messing around with containers and configuring OBS or, you know, some other, you know, hackery. No guarantees I'm awake. Okay, fair. Wow, not a porky. Wow, okay. So, internet curfew at midnight. Crikey. Okay, so you're up because you were still working. Ravens Herbert, thank you very much for the follow. Do say hello in chat. We are a friendly crowd here. It's nice to get to know everyone that stops by. I'll try very hard to remember HC. I can't guarantee it because it gets hard over time as you, like, more people join the chat over subsequent streams, but I'll try my best to remember. If I get it wrong, just poke it in there and remind me. Mindy, thank you very much. That's very kind. So this is actually a good opportunity to just reiterate. This isn't intended to be a money-making venture, but so many of you are generous. So what we're going to be doing is using any money that this channel creates to make this channel more interesting and fun for the people that stop by and watch. So we're going to be working on some bots and some interactive stuff, so you can be more involved in the stream itself. So that will undoubtedly take months to slowly increment on, and we'll drip feed bits and pieces out as we go. But that's the idea, is to make this a more fun place to be. And really, what I'm trying to do is I've been infiltrating the OBS tweakers community, and I want to try and get to the point where streaming on Linux, we can do all the same stuff. You know, we want for nothing. So it's really pushing the envelope on Linux to ensure that we maintain parity with what the rest of the OBS cutting edge streamers are doing. And one of the things I've been considering is there's a developer called Exeldro who writes plugins for OBS, and I'm thinking of sponsoring the development of some of his plugins, where he's started on Linux support but he hasn't like finished it yet, but sponsor him to finish the Linux support for some of the plugins, because he's got this audio monitor plugin that he's working on, which would be a game changer for Linux users, because that little audio faux pas I had last night could have been completely avoided if that plugin was available on Linux, because it enables you to change up the mix and everything for what I hear and what you hear. So he started adding Pulse support for that. Yeah, OBS is just fantastic. So that's sort of the thing I'm thinking of doing, is sponsoring people to, you know, like we've done in Ubuntu MATE, use that money to sponsor developers to work on stuff that makes Ubuntu MATE better. I think because I'm so into OBS, maybe using money to make this stream better, make our little Discord community better, and then subsequently make OBS better for Linux users. Right, well with that, it is 10 to 12, and that means it's time, almost time for me to be as quiet as a mouse, because my daughter's piano lesson will start momentarily. So thank you everyone for stopping by. Thank you to all of you that, you know, said hello. A bigger thank you to those that followed, and even bigger thank you to those that subscribed. It's unexpected and very generous of you all. And if you want to help come up with ideas as how we can, you know, put the money that this channel generates to the best use, then join our discourse. We have a broadcasting channel and we can discuss all of that in there. I'm open to ideas and suggestions. We'll try and do the best that we can with what we have available. So with that, I wish you all an enjoyable weekend. Have a great Saturday, or whatever day it is about to become on the other side of the world. And I'll definitely be back tomorrow night, Sunday night, 9:45 UK time, for Linux game night, community game night. Thanks HC, that's very kind. I really appreciate that. That's really good of you. Thank you. And we'll be taking Trackmania Nations Forever out for a spin, and everyone is welcome to join and get involved in that. So that's available as a snap or on Steam. It's a free-to-play game. Runs great on Linux, so anyone can come and join us for that. And with that, I'm going to say thanks everyone, and I'll see you soon, I hope. Bye for now. As he looks for the ending button. Bye. Oh, I missed it. How embarrassing.